Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. The honorable panelists, Mr. Fadil Hasan, Bang Fadil Hasan, salam hormat Bang. I'm so sorry I cannot join with you in Orient Hotel. Mr. Fadil Hasan is my senior, my teacher that I admire, Head of Foreign Affairs of GAPKI, Mr. Gulat Manurung, Chairman of Apkasindo, Mr. Ari Rompas, Team Leader Forest Campaign Greenpeace Indonesia, and our moderator on today's event, Mr. Edward Davis, the ZFCC Joint President, and all participants who have joined offline in Orient Hotel or online via Zoom. Good morning, and I wish good health to all of you. My name is Yeka Hendra Patika, Ombudsman of Indonesia. I am honored to take part in one of the ZFCC panel discussion with the issues of how Indonesia can balance the need for fairly priced cooking oil for consumers and well-being of farmers and the broader palm oil industry. I am aware that this is not a simple issue to deliver in this discussion, but I will try to present it in relevance to my role and my duty as Ombudsman of Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, referring to Presidential Decree number 59 of 2020, Article 2, Paragraph 6. Cooking oil is one of the basic industrial good, which availability can be regulated by government policy. Then referring to Law number 25 of 2009, public services are defined as activities or series activities in the context of fulfilling the needs of services on goods, services, and or administrative services in accordance with laws and regulation for every citizen and resident provided by public service provider. So it is very clear that the government has strong legal basis to regulate and supervise the provision of cooking oil, and that all provider has the obligation to follow it. Government's intervention on providing cooking oil is the manifestation of public services in the form of providing public good through guaranteeing the availability of cooking oil at fairly prices for consumer and has become the state's mission. Ombudsman has the authority to supervise every implementation of public services carried out by state and government officials. The supervision carried out by Ombudsman aims to ensure that the community receive a good quality public services, so every citizen and resident receive justice, a sense of security, and better welfare. In the case of cooking oil scarcity and exorbitant prices, the Ombudsman has the authority to oversee various steps taken by the government to ensure the availability and affordability of cooking oil for consumers. Ladies and gentlemen, Indonesian government had begun the intervention to provide cooking oil at affordable price through the Minister of Trade Regulation number 1 of 2022 concerning the supply of cooking oil in simple packaging for consumer need within the framework of financing by BPDPKS on January 11, 2022. The supervision carried out by the Ombudsman was started with monitoring the prices and availability of cooking oil throughout Indonesia from early February 2022 to mid-March 2022. And at the end of March 2022, the Ombudsman increased the supervisory status from monitoring to investigation because the cooking oil price still above the highest retail prices and scarcity still happen in some areas in Indonesia. Until now, a series of examinations are still being carried out. Government's intervention related to cooking oil must be based on justice. I said again, must be based on justice, not only considering the consumer aspect, but also paying attention to the protection of the palm oil farmers. Now, move to the next slide. In this slide, I will show you that we, Ombudsman of Indonesia, discover at least 9 regulations had been issued by the government in the last 5 months, since January 2022. During these 5 months, I split it into 3 periods. First period is before the policy of DMO and DVO. Second period, after the policy of DMO and DVO. And last, the third period is the period where the DMO and DVO has not been enforced, which then later replaced with a policy of providing and applying the highest retail price, retail price to bulk cooking oil. In the first period, within 15 days, from 11 to 26 January 2022, government had issued 3 policies, 15 days, that regulated the provision of cooking oil at affordable cooking oil, as you can see in the slide. But the implementation of these policies didn't work, as you can see in the slide on this line. Okay. Cooking oil price, but in bulk and package, still above the highest retail price level. During this period, we also experienced the scarcity of cooking oil. Next, second period. In this period, government issued the policy of DMO and DPO, and the determination of highest retail price of bulk, simple, and premium packaged cooking oil, which lasted until 15 March 2022, and the result? Apparently, this policy had failed too. During this period, the cooking oil price relatively better than first period, even though it was still above the highest retail price level. But the scarcity had gotten worse. I believe everyone remember, we could see long queue everywhere with the massive publicity by almost all media. Then, with the scarcity of cooking oil, we enter the third period. In this period, the determination of simple and premium packaged cooking oil prices released to the market, and the government focused on the intervention of bulk cooking oil. Why? Because they want to focus on people that vulnerable to high prices, and about 60% of Indonesian consumers, especially those who live in rural area or villages, use bulk cooking oil. In order to support the availability of bulk cooking oil, the Ministry of Industry then issued a policy to support this. What happened in this period is that we have to overflow of cooking oil, both in simple package or premium package, in traditional market, and modern retail. But the prices was still higher than in the first period. Until now, Indonesian government has been focusing on keeping the bulk cooking oil price at the highest retail price level. But after the issuance of Ministry of Industry regulation, the bulk cooking oil become hard to find in the market, and the price become higher. Because of that, on 27 April 2022, the government issued policy on the restriction of the export of CPO and all its derivatives. However, 1 month later, this policy did not reduce the price of bulk cooking oil, but the government lifted the export ban because the price of planting fresh fruit dropped dramatically, averaging around 1,000 to 2,000 rupiah per kilogram from the previous price. From my explanation above, we can take conclusion that the Ombudsman consider that the government has not been able to realize the price of bulk cooking oil according to the highest retail price level. But the government has succeeded in controlling prices. So, without these policies, it is possible that the price of cooking oil could be much higher than it is now. Ladies and gentlemen, why the high retail price level cannot be reached? Currently, the Ombudsman is conducting an investigation to explore the failure of the implementation of government's policies. Here are several hypotheses that are being tested. First, how the Ministry of Trade perform their function in controlling cooking oil prices. Do they have early warning system? The timing for intervention could be too late and has an impact on the immaturity of policies issued by government. 2. What is the quality of our production data and supply and demand balance for CPO so far? Is it reliable? 3. What is the government plan for monitoring the implementation highest retail price at this moment? Are all market players, especially downstream market, get involved and invited to participate by the government, especially local government? If all the consequences costs of market player involvement are calculated into the formulation of highest retail price, then the price set up by the government can be higher, but it will be more acceptable by the market. The answer of those three questions will lead us to know better the real problem, why the highest retail price cannot be reached. Ladies and gentlemen, in this slide, I would like to ask all of you to consider that maybe we need to reform accounting system in the CPO's industry. But I don't know if it's possible because I am not accountant. In my opinion, there are several things that we need to do the reformation, the accounting system. First, does all revenue from the sale of CPO waste can be treated as deducting costs? If the answer is yes, then this will contribute in the decreasing price of CPO and all its derivatives. And in the end, this will potentially bring the cooking oil price down. Second, is it correct to put land and plants as depreciation costs? Please correct me if I'm wrong. If those costs taken out from the calculation of base sales price, then the price will be lower. If these two reformations carry out together, it will potentially lower the price of CPO, that in the end will bring down the price of cooking oil. We come to the final slide. Here I have some notes, but it is not a conclusion of material I presented today. First, the application of highest retail price level has not been implemented in the market. There are many downstream market players that have big influence in the formation of price, but the government and local government didn't involve them in the decision-making process. The result is the price form is always above highest retail price. Nevertheless, the government has succeeded in curbing the increasing rate in cooking oil prices. Government's intervention in providing cooking oil at affordable prices requires careful planning, accurate data collection, and a reliable monitoring system in all related supply chain. And we see business actors' participation in the government's program is very high, although not all commitments and targets can be met. It is necessary to audit the accounting record in each company to reform the accounting system of palm oil companies. The revenue coming from the sale of palm oil waste should become a cost deduction. Depreciation for crops and land also needs to be studied more deeply to see whether it is appropriate to put it as cost element in the accounting context, of course. Before ending my session, I would like to apologize if I made any mistake in delivering my presentation, and also because I cannot join this and also I cannot join this discussion actively, as I already have other agenda at the same time. Should you have any question, please put it in the chat room, and I will answer in the Q&A session. Thank you very much.